Hi, boys and girls. Hoping that your school year is starting off well. I wanted to do a little place value video, and I'm just going to put it right in the assignment today and see if that helps some of you out. So I'm going to just pause it for a second. So these are our three important vocabulary words. We have digit, which just really here just means what number. And are used to that meaning hashtag, but that really just means what number. And then place just means where. What number is in what place, or where is it? And then the value, just like with money or in real life, right? How much is it worth? Okay, so we're trying to figure out what number is in what place and how much is it worth. So if I'm looking at my first example here, I have the number 674,398. And you just kind of read them in clumps of three. I have the number 674. When I get to the comma, I say the word thousand. Then I read my next clump of three, which is 398. I want to know what is the value of the seven. And all you really have to do here is some counting. See if I can switch the color. I'm really trying to figure out, well, how many spaces come after it? So after the seven, there's one, two, three, four numbers. And I need to reflect that when I show the number. So I'm going to keep the seven. And these other numbers, it's going to be helpful later when we're doing expanded form, are going to turn to zeros. So the digit, it was a seven. The place it's in is called the 10,000s place, and its value is 70,000. And then I was going to do the same thing with the three. Again, and you can even sometimes hear it while you're reading the number. 674,398. So even as I'm reading that number, I can really just hear that it was a three. Again, here's my two spots, which become zeros. 300. Again, you can hear that in the number 674,398. And then we're going to focus on three different ways to either read or write or interpret numbers. The first one is called the standard form. And standard, kind of just regular, just means regular, or the usual way you do it. In this case, it's going to be all numbers. That's how we're used to seeing a number, like 35,000, different, like 35,906. Okay, that's just the standard form. It's just the regular way to say that number. Word form is just what it sounds like. The way I say it is how I'm going to write it. You'll notice again, at that comma, the commas are important. Comma kind of helps me space. I hear the number 35, and then I say 1,000. I should have that same exact word, 35,000. Good trick. Where the comma is where the comma stays. 35, comma, 35, and then the comma. But you just say the place, 1,000. And then after the comma, or after my comma in the number, after my comma in the word form, is 906. So that matches up perfectly. Now with expanded form, I rewrote the number 35,906 below, and then I'll show you how to convert that to standard form. It's kind of like we were just doing with the value and the place and the digit. I know I have the number 3, then I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 spots that come after it. So I know I need 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. When I'm putting my commas in, again, you start over on this side, you count back every 3, 1, 2, 3. That's where the comma goes, and those all become zeros. Then I look at my 5 is next, so the 3 is all done. It's 30,000. The 5 has 1, 2, 3 spots after it. The 9, the 0, and the 6 all just, again, become zeros. And and I make sure that my comma lines up correctly. It was 5 and then comma and then 3 numbers, 5 and then comma and then 3 zeros. The 9 is really a 900. I just ran out of room, so I'm going to go down there. Again, 2 spots, 2 zeros, that's that counting. There's nothing in the tens place, and that's okay. I just can leave that blank. I don't have to write 0, 0. It's just understood that that's there, and then just regular old 6. Now we'll practice going from word form to standard form. So I have the words here, 6,412,035. Again, those commas are very, very important. I know in my answer that I'm also going to have those same 2 commas. Okay, I'll switch the color. So in the millions period, I just have the number 6. So that's all that's going to be there. I know I said that you're going to use 3s, but again, sometimes there's only 1 or there's only 2. All that's in my millions place, according to my word, is the number 6. Then I'm in that middle section. Again, you notice there's a comma, the middle words, and then another comma. In there, it tells me to put 412. That's my thousands period, and it has the word thousand right there. So I need in that middle part 412. And now in my ones, or my regular period, I have the number 35. This can be a little tricky, but again, you need 3 different numbers here. You have to think, well, where would 35 fit? Normally, we would put 35 way over here. It didn't tell me anything about the hundreds. It didn't say like 635 or 235. So since it didn't mention it, that tells me that there is a 0 there. Okay? Then if I was going to expanded form, again, I know it's going to be the same size as this number. That's kind of my base number. I need a 6 with 6 spots that come after it. And in that first one, they all become zeros. There's my thousands, there's my ones. Now I go to my next number. The 4 is really a 400,000. The 1 is really a 10,000. The 2 is really a 2,000. The 3 is a 30. And the 5 is just a 5. And you can write it that way. We would add all those different numbers together. And I'm going to use that in a minute to show you how you get back. So if you were in expanded form, again, I'll give you a different example in a minute, but that's also what you would do. You would know the 6 needs to go here. We need a 4 in this spot, a 1 in this spot, a 2 right here. See how there's nothing there? And then the 3, and then the 5. And I'll do one more of those. Now we're going the other way. We kind of do the same thing, but backwards. Again, this first number, again, or the biggest one, the greater one, is going to tell me how big my number needs to be. So I already know I need to go to the 10 millions place and have a 3 there. I'm jumping ahead. So I know that that's where my 3 needs to be, and then these are the numbers that come after it. And I'm trying to figure out where the 4 would go. The 4 needs to go in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spot over. Which again, you can tell the commas will again give you those tricks or those hints. It needs to go right there. Then I want to see, is there anything in my 100,000s place? That means there'd be 5 zeros that come after it. And I see that here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So this one has to be a 6. See how that matches up correctly? How I know that that is the correct spot. Then I try to find where my 2 is. And here, this is the thing you got to pay attention to. This is why those commas are really, really important. There's no number that has 4 zeros that come after it. They didn't tell me anything in that spot. That means it's a 0. And then the 2 has 3 spots after it. And the 2 comes right before that comma. And then the 3 spots after it. I have 900, again, 2 spots. There's my 9 with 2 spots. Again, it didn't tell me anything for the tens place. I'll keep consistent and make that a 0. And then here comes my 7. That's that same number. Again, expanded. I was telling my class today, it's like expanding a balloon. You're taking the same amount and you're just making it bigger. You're not really changing the amount of rubber that's red or whatever that's there. And then you're coming back to regular, letting the air out of it. And then really quickly, when I'm comparing numbers, I want to find the first spot that's different. They both have 50,000. It's not just they have the same digit, they have the same digit in the same place. They both have a 6,000, so they both start as 56,000. Then I find my spot that's different. I always think of this like if this was a contest and you win first prize. You either pick $372 or $723. And if you remember, I know you probably learned it in the younger grades, like a shark or a hungry something, it wants to eat the bigger amount. So we want to open that mouth towards that 7. Okay? That's the bigger amount. It doesn't matter what comes after it. Like 72 is bigger than 23, but that doesn't matter in this problem because 700 was bigger than 300. Or in this next one when I'm comparing, right? Both sides have a 9 in the hundreds place, a 2 in the tens place, and a 7 in the ones place. So those two are equal to each other. There was nothing there that was different or a different number in a different spot. If I had something like this, I have the similar digits. They both have a 9, but not in the same spot. This one has 9,000. Again, if it's a contest, I'd much rather have $9,000 than $900. This one automatically wins. It doesn't really matter at that point what comes after it. This is the first place that's different. I'm technically comparing 9,000 to nothing thousand. Now let's say I was playing a video game and I got 3 different scores. The first time I tried, I got a score of 4,237 points. The second time I played, I got a score of 4,723 points. And then the third time I played, I got a score of 4,372 points. A couple different questions. And which of the 3 rounds was my best one? So now I'm looking basically essentially for which one is the biggest number, which was the best score. I know it's probably hard to tell, but there's a little circle here. And those are semicolons. And if you're paying attention, all 3 of my scores, I always ended up in the 4,000 point range. So it's really my hundreds place that's going to determine what comes next. I'm comparing 200, 700, or 300. So my best score was 4,723, or my second attempt. I can keep going, putting it from greatest to least, means I want the biggest number first, going down to the smallest ones. Again, I'm still comparing those same spots. 300 would be next, 4,372, and then my worst score was the first one, 4,237. Okay, if you need any help with that, you can shoot me a dojo message or let me know on Google Classroom. Great job, guys.